Nigerians continue to travel
the
in
city
and
of
out
Lagos
of
waits at the dog as all moves.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west and around Africa, we break the news.
one Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core TV.
24-hour news station.
Yes, the solution, the final one to solving the issue of insurgency in Nigeria is what we are looking at, with the French connection and the issue of Boko Haram. Boko Haram has killed and maimed over 12,000 people, lives decimated, family bereaved, and all of this going on. With help from international bodies, international convergence, to help solve the issue of Boko Haram. That is what we are looking at today. The French summit, which the president attended, and the summit declaring in its communique at the end of it that a total war be declared on Boko Haram sect in the whole of West and Central Africa. Our guest in the studio remains Ejiro Onobrakpeya, who is a public analyst and has been discussing the issue with us. Final solution on Boko Haram. What should the country be thinking?
Well, poverty, like we have rightly understood.
Identified.
Yes, identified, and is an important point. I spoke about reorientation of values. Who are these people that are being recruited into Boko Haram? What do they need to change their mind from being used as catalyst for destruction, mayhem? What is this thing? What ideas can be given to them? What new information, what superior information can be given to them so that they are no more vulnerable to people that are recruiting them? So we look at the concept of the almajiris. We look at the volume of people that are young, without jobs, without food, without money, and then somebody somewhere is feeding them every day and they are loyal to that. We look at all those issues and we see how the nation can address them. Because it's about, if you feel secure, if there's some kind of social security for the nation, if you feel a part and parcel of the nation, then you will do things to enhance the nation. But if you don't feel part of the nation, anytime you are called on to cause destruction, you will do it.
The government has been talking about Almajiri school. Even if the government provides school, provides education, are these people willing to attend those schools?
Well, there must be concerted effort from the northern leaders. First of all, the northern leaders, then the religious leaders. They must come to some kind of agreement. Because these are the people at the end of the day that will be first held responsible by their own people. If there's problem, there should be that regional cohesion. They should be able to talk to each other. There should be information flow about the advantage of good practices. Just the advantage of not going to war, the advantage of negotiation, the advantage of peace, living in peace with your neighbor. Let us be very honest. It is important for Nigeria to stay as one. It is important for Nigeria to stay as one. I'll tell you why. As one, Nigeria will have the advantage, the kind of advantage that you have in Indonesia, where, you know, everybody is different, one way or the other in ethnic, you know,
diversity.
But their strengths together. Who is stronger than the other person helps the other person to come up. So their strengths together makes the country a great nation. I mean, I don't buy the idea of Nigeria splitting up. Because even if it splits up, there will also be groups that will consider that they are not being fairly treated. I think Nigeria should stay as one. I think whoever is strong should help whoever is weak. And there should be a kind of synergy in order to carry the country as one.
You mentioned poverty as one of the reasons for insurgency.
Yes.
Do you think Nigeria is wealthy enough to cater for everybody in the country?
I believe so. I mean, for Nigeria to be described as the the largest economy in Africa.
Is that not just on paper?
It's
Is it
not
reflected?
on paper. It's not on paper. When they say a country is the largest economy, we're talking about something like the balance sheet. I mean, the income from crude export, the income is heavy. So therefore, the government should come together and put together resources that can inspire the common man. The man on the street wants to feel a reason, wants to belong. He wants to be protected. He wants to have food. Like Chairman,
not just handouts.
Yes, like Chairman Mao says, look, I will feed everybody every day. The man on the street, does he feel part of Nigeria? Why is he boiling inside? Now, the government of Nigeria can ensure that everybody their status is taken up a bit. Their level of living, the standard of living is I'm not talking about rich, but the standard of living. And we're talking basic things. We're talking health. We're talking living quarters. We're talking ability to be able to train your children with reasonable funds. So, I mean, these are the basic things that should be met. And I must tell you that Nigeria can do this.
A group in the National Conference did say over the weekend, in response to what they gathered, what's their what is it called?
Committee?
Yeah, what their committee is recommending, as part of their recommendation, that's the word, that every Nigerian of adult age, particularly from the university graduate, should be paid some money until such time that they get a job. It's a sort of, what it is recommending, per se, is a situation of social security for Nigeria. That this country should be ready for such. This country is able, with all its wealth and finances, the ability to do that for those on ground now. This would eventually solve some of the problems we're experiencing now. But from the way we are, from the political spectrum, do we see a government? Do we see a movement, not even any of the political party, that can truly carry out this sort?
I think those expectations may be a little out of order. What I recommend really is that people should be encouraged to see the dignity of labor. Now, I have a challenge sometimes with our educational system, where you go to school, primary school, secondary school, university, and then you sit back and wait for somebody to give you a job in order to be able to feed yourself and feed your family. And if nobody gives you a job, then you sit at home for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you're waiting for a job. I think we must all have this entrepreneurial attitude. It's an attitude. It doesn't matter. You can graduate and be a tailor. You can be a graduate of a university and sell biscuits. You can be a graduate of the university and make cake. Just do something, or be an artist. Just do something. People will begin to encourage you as time goes on. Let the quality of the thing be good and progress. So that this idea of looking for white-collar job or waiting for government to give you stipend before you leave, I think it's totally wrong. There must be a change, a total change in ideology. People should learn how to learn. And they should look at the uniqueness of our environment and see what our advantages are. What can we use? What do we have? What can we use? What can we sell to people? It's very important. So the idea of, okay, saying, there are 100 people from this local government, come and collect 10,000 naira each. It doesn't help. They should encourage people. People should form things like unions. They should form associations. Either they are farmers. I don't know who is going to farm these days. Either they are farmers, or they are cobblers, or they are tailors.
Let's get back to this issue of Chibok girls. We got the news that the president was going to visit.
Yeah.
Though some said it was late, because it was over a month before we heard about the president's planned visit. And all of a sudden, we heard that it was cancelled. But Ruben Abati came out to say there was never a planned visit. So it would be wrong to say it was a cancellation of a planned visit. The president came out to say Chibok is not where those girls are held hostage, so it wasn't necessary for him to visit. Do you really think it wasn't necessary to visit the Chibok people?
Well, my take on that is that the president should actually go there as a mark of solidarity. You know, if the president goes there and people see him, oh, he's sympathizing with them and all that, they feel better. They feel that there is hope. But they may decide not to go there for certain reasons. But we're looking for ways to alleviate the sufferings of the people there. We're looking for, if the president goes there with his team, they will feel better. It's even good PR for him and his people. So I think that it is important he visits.
So the issue of better late than never.
Yeah, I think it's important he visits.
It's important.
It's very important he visits.
Now let's look at it this way. When the wife of the governor, Madam Shetima, went and visited the people, she said, yes, sorry, it was late, we came to you, but the issue is I feel pained. Yeah. I was not allowed to because of the security of the area. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whether he decided to go or not, should it be an issue because of the security of the area, as it were. We have agreed that this is why even the foreign people have come to sort and help us out in this situation. But should the president, knowing that the army is releasing and saying, please do not go to these areas, take a bold step in making a visit to such a place?
I think Mr. President should go to that place. If the government admits that that place is dangerous and risky, then they should evacuate Nigerians from there. Rather than say, because the president, the place is risky, the president will not go. I think it's an admission of failure in that area. After all, that area should be under
emergency.
Yes, it's under emergency. It's under emergency. So, in fact, that it is under emergency rule means that they should have put certain things in place to ensure that security is 24 hours, round the clock, and things are calm. So I don't see any reason why any part of Nigeria should be a no-go zone to our president. I find that very faulty. Mr. President should be able to visit any part of Nigeria at any point in time. Security should not be an issue because after all, it is Nigeria and Nigerians live there.
Do you see France committing itself to helping Nigeria, considering its presence in several African countries already? Do you think the commitment would really be there in terms of finances, in terms of physical aid and all of that?
Possibly. I believe that they may be committed to helping the region because it's not just helping Nigeria, it has become a regional challenge. It's gone to its second fold now. It's a Nigerian problem, but it's also a regional problem. So France has a way of helping its ex-colonies, and they have mutually, they have a strong relationship that will give them an idea to come. And they also have interests in these places. Those interests in those places, it's important. They protect those interests. So I'm sure that these issues will make them committed.
You said France has this close relationship with its ex-colonies.
That's right.
Some have also alleged that France has not totally given independence to these ex-colonies because when any little thing comes up, France is there. When this comes up, France is there. And it looks like these people are not truly independent. Do you foresee that for Nigeria? In the sense that help comes and we're going to be indebted to these countries that have come to help?
Well, whichever case, we'll be indebted to people all over the world. Whether we admit it or not, we'll be indebted to people all over the world. But what is important is that when genuine help comes, we should receive it humbly and accept it. But I hope that some of this help doesn't come with strings attached to it.
Is there help without strings attached? We're talking politics here.
Well, yes, but there's a help that is moral.
Moral?
Yes, it should be like that. I mean, it shouldn't all be about what do I get out of this. And that is why the world is...
Let's not forget very quickly,
then how do we separate a help that is moral from that has strings attached to it?
It is clear. it is obvious usually when people help you just because of what they can benefit from you. But if we look at a higher level of thinking, you help somebody because the person is in need, is in trouble. Why must I get something back from you because I helped you? You know? But of course, capitalism doesn't allow for that. Capitalism means, look, I'm going to benefit if I'm going to extend myself to you, period.
Indeed, because what we're saying, and from messages from our Facebook and Twitter, it's very obvious. It's very, very obvious that there are international interests in this, not because Nigeria is not strategic to all of these countries. They all have interests here. I mean, those interests have to be protected. But if the uncertainty and the insurgency in Nigeria continues, these countries too get to suffer, would it not?
True.
So there is always a beneficial interest to all of these people who wants to help Nigeria. But taking it a little further from that, the political angle is no country is safe from terrorism.
True.
Yesterday it was 9/11. Then again it was outside Tel Aviv. Then again it was this way. Then it's now Afghanistan. Then it is, where would it stop? Algeria, here, there? Who knows where is next? So it is in the interest of the political, the various countries around the world to come to the aid of Nigeria. In spite of the morality of it, the political interest, because the world has become a global village.
True.
Why should we not think about indebtedness? Yes, we will be indebted to them, but for how long? We hope it goes quickly. But again, take a look at the situation where Nigeria is saying, come and help us. For how long do we think this can go on?
Well, sometimes if you invite somebody to come and help you, you're not sure the length of time that the person will use to accomplish his objectives or her objectives or your objectives. But like I said earlier on, the help should come in terms of training. Our military needs training. They need a new ideology for protecting lives and properties in Nigeria. They need to be more equipped and they need to be funded. That funding is very important. Now, of course, corruption with its Hydra head comes up in every part of the society. So you cannot say you are dealing with corruption in the army alone or in the police alone and not deal with corruption in other. You stem corruption. You punish people that are corrupt. Then the people that, like the military people, the soldiers and the police and those kind of people, you compensate them enough not to want to steal so that they can do their work assiduously and effectively. It's very important. Otherwise, you'll find, because some of these people, look, you go to checkpoints sometimes in Nigeria and Lagos, all they want to do is collect something. And is it because they are greedy? Is it because they are in need? We're not sure. But they just want something. So that's something they want for their pocket overrides their primary responsibility. And until we can resolve their reason for asking for that small something, we haven't solved the problem.
We followed the summit in Paris, and now we know that for next month there will be another meeting in UK. What do you foresee happening? At the conclusion of the summit, we heard, okay, technical expertise, we heard pool of intelligence, we heard surveillance.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to at the UK meeting? What should these countries be discussing?
Well, they should. You see, the world has gone internet now, and groups moving either arms or serious ammunition can be tracked. Do you understand? Now there should be this kind of 24-hour surveillance, monitoring what is going on. It's very important. And the West, they are very technologically savvy. They know what it requires. They can help us. They can genuinely help us. Because heavy arms are moving. And they should be able to trace these people. They should be able to help to trace mobile telephone movement and those kind of things if they really want to eradicate it. So I'm hoping that the meeting in Britain will further enhance the resolution in the UK so that it appears as if Nigeria is going to get safer.
Now we have the 2015 elections coming, and the solution of whether these 3 states which are under emergency rule, which has been proposed again, the extension by the President to the Senate, by which time the Senate gives its go-ahead for this state of emergency. Majority of the states in the Federation are preparing for the next election, whether we like it or not, in spite of the electoral regulations, or as it were. Here we have state of emergency, and politics is in the minds of virtually all the actors. That is, those in government and those in opposition who are supposedly government in waiting, or who propose to be government in waiting to the Nigerian populace. What should the people be thinking? As elections are just a campaign and elections properly, it's just a few months away. What should we, the people, be thinking?
I think the security and securing lives and properties of Nigerians in Nigeria and outside Nigeria should be priority to Nigerian government. If anybody is using the election as a bait, or using the election as a reason to negotiate certain things, I think it is wrong. There are children involved here. There are 300 or thereabout children involved here. They should be released. Nobody should use it as propaganda. Nobody should use it as... The election will come and go. We agree. But there is an issue to be dealt with now. And Nigerians are carefully watching how the government is dealing with this issue. Because based on that, it will determine... do I vote for these people? Do I think these people are serious? Are they taking our interests serious? It's very important. But I will hope not that this government is going to consider the election when they are planning to solve the insurgency problem of Boko Haram.
You did mention the area of Jamboree for those who are out there campaigning for the release of these girls.
Yeah. I see that. It's very obvious. There are some people, taking advantage of it. It is wrong. In my own opinion, morally, it is wrong. There are issues. Let us deal with them straight. Yes, there are some genuine people that are really coming out. But sometimes you can't differentiate who is who these days. Oh, bring back the girls, bring back the girls. But it's deeper than that. I want to see those girls alive and well.
Do you think there should be an extension of the emergency rule?
Well, I believe so. And those 3 states may not be the only states that require emergency rule.
There should be more states.
I'm sure. Because what really is responsible for emergency rule? When it is understood that a government of a state cannot properly, with the security votes available, cannot properly take care of that region security-wise, then it appears that the government is overwhelmed and cannot do anything. So the state of emergency means, first of all, they will bring in military presence so that people more or less stand in line, hoping that that will kind of curb, the movements of people and the difficult things that they do.
Would you say the arrest? Yeah, go ahead.
Some of these governors have been agitating because they feel the past emergency rule has not been of good effect. There's been emergency rule and there have been insurgent attacks. So why the extension?
Well, it's the federal government actually has a right to determine what state should go into emergency rule or not. Depending. So if the governors were serious enough, they will try and curb the problems. I look at issues like I say, for example, I blame a lot of northern leaders. I say they should take the bull by the horn. They should discuss the challenges in those areas and try to resolve them. Otherwise, it is seen that those northern leaders have failed. It will be very clear to people that they have failed.
So it is not Nigeria that has failed?
It is not Nigeria that has failed. Do we have those kind of insurgencies in this part of Nigeria? We don't.
Did we say it didn't happen around here?
Well,
it couldn't. I mean, we had the experience of the militancy in Niger Delta. We have things going on within the southwest area. We had the middle belt. We had the Jos issue still going on.
The militancy of the Niger Delta It's very different. It's much different. Were they killing people? They were blowing pipes. They were trying to get response from international organizations and the world. Were they killing people? They were not killing people. They were truncating commercial activity, so that the issues which the militants had, which is that, okay, we produce the oil. However, we live in abject poverty. The whole world should come and judge. I think it's a reasonable claim. And what has happened over the years, I think people are beginning to listen that these places that have oil, they can't continue to live like this. So I don't know if you've gone to. I come from the Niger Delta, so I know how that area is, and I know that it is a lot of the money that comes out of our resources that built a lot of places. Why should those people live in abject poverty?
If you're saying these are two different things.
It's different.
They're living in poverty, but
yes.
You also mentioned that these insurgents, the basis of their problem is poverty. So how different are these two? Maybe they just have different ways of voicing.
Let me explain to you.
Yes.
When you have a grievance, there's something considered to be a reasonable grievance. But when you are making demands that are unreasonable, like the girl child should not go to school, like Western education is wrong, democracy is wrong, I think that it's a deeper issue. How do you negotiate with such people without, it's difficult. It's very difficult, but it's possible. But the other one is we're trying to determine that, look, you help us. We have these resources that God has given to us, yet we cannot live, There's a parable that says that you cannot live by the river and be battling with spittle, So I think it is different totally. Yes, there has been challenges in this part of Nigeria, but this Boko Haram mayhem is horrible.
If government deals with the issue of poverty nationwide, inclusive of these Boko Haram infested areas, would it start solving the problem?
Of course.
Education?
Most definitely. Healthcare. Education, good roads. Of course, people feeling part of Nigeria.
The point is, we hear that construction, or rather, it is a rule of thumb, that construction is the largest employer of labor. Should government just advance into construction in these areas to see whether people will come out and be gainfully employed?
You can't just advance into construction for construction's sake.
Should it not?
No, you can't just do that. But, opportunities can be created whereby the common man can work and see the benefits of his job on a daily basis. People should get busy. If you're not busy, like they say, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. People should get busy. People should earn reasonable living. In that case, they are tired at the end of the day, they don't want. But when people are, Nigerians are not lazy people. They are not lazy at all. They work hard, home and abroad. So when you engage people, first of all, engage them by work and engage them by time. Then you will resolve this problem. So in agreement, poverty is a serious issue. The quality of life of people must be upgraded.
Opinions in some quarters says that maybe because the militants were granted amnesty, that was the reason insurgents came up in the northern part of the country, and now we're negotiating with terrorists. Maybe after negotiation, some other groups come up and feel, okay, if these people troubled the south and they were given amnesty, these people have troubled the north, they are being negotiated with. Maybe we should come up with some form of troubling the nation. Maybe we'll get our own part of the national cake.
Well, I am hoping. Nigeria as an entity has a lot of major problems. And these problems are not unique to Nigeria. They are unique to developing nations. I'm hoping the National Conference brings out all these issues. Now, the National Conference is supposed to be a thorough representation of the ideals, the way people live, how they are related with, what they consider to be living. That is what the National Conference is supposed to be. Now, if the people are properly properly represented, all these issues will be brought to the table and discussed extensively. And it is from there that agitations will be nipped in the bud. Because if people have challenges and they can talk about them, then you kind of deal with it before it becomes a problem. Because it is impossible for a nation to have problems. But the magnitude is what is, you know.
Indeed, Ejiro Onobrakpeya, we cannot say anymore. We cannot but say a big thank you for coming to be our guest today.
Thank you very much for
and
having me.
And we hope when next we call you, you will oblige us.
I appreciate it.
Indeed. Well, that's been Core Digest this morning, today, and of course tomorrow is yet another day. We will be here again, Ebon Lomo.
And I hope you're going for protest, because red seems to be the color of the Bring Back Our Girls protest. Haven't you noticed? And you have a red tie and red pocket square.
I think maybe as now that you brought that to my notice, it will be red tie all the way.
That's good. So please let these girls be back. If you're listening to us, because Ejiro said earlier that, do these people even watch television? Can they see the agitation and protests all over the world about this over 200 girls? We need these girls back alive. And Sheyi,
indeed,
the hashtag, right?
Right,
all
indeed.
the way.
Indeed. Well, we'll see you in the morning. God bless. Bye now.
Nigerians continue to travel
the city of Lagos
There's still a poor level of
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west and around Africa, we break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News,
Welcome to Core
a
TV.
24-hour news station.